it's already rubbing off on you. Look, you can see it's already on your shirt. There's no going back. You've seen the light. You know where you need to go. It is just a matter of becoming uncomfortable enough to push yourself through this window and to experience things. Hi, Pisces. Bailey B, hanging out for another intuitive reading to help you explore your subconscious and see what's going on. Thank you for being here. I intend for this reading to give you something fascinating to think about, and I hope you can use that information to lead you to more safety and more fulfillment. I want you to check in with your own intuition to see what feels true and only pick up what's resonating with you. Today, I'm going to do a more structured reading again. I'm really enjoying these more structured readings. It's helping me. I feel like I need some structure in my life right now, and it makes it more fun. I feel like I can go more in depth to the themes as well. So I have the Osho Zen Tarot deck here. We're going to pick out 4 different energies, and then I'm going to clarify with the Krans Wild Unknown Tarot. So we'll start with the Osho. If you haven't hit the like button already, please do so. It really helps me grow the channel. Consider becoming a subscriber if you love my content. I'm here every other day with great Pisces videos, and I'm actually doing a contest right now too. If you comment below, preferably like the Vulcan hand symbol, so I know that you're in the Bailey Bee bouquet. Or I'd really appreciate the time of day and the time zone that you're watching this. It helps me like gather more information about what you guys like and who's engaging in the content and when. Or you could also share these videos with a friend. That helps me so much. I've heard that it actually doubles your viewership when just one person shares your video out to a friend. So like you can press the little arrow share button and text it to your best friend or whoever else is a Pisces in your life. Maybe they need a little encouragement or would like to see some fun tarot cards being played. So, all right, I have 4 energies out here for you. I'm going to pick off the top. The first one will be what is unseen by you. So I'm getting a lot of mysterious energy out here today. That's why I picked the Kim Krans deck, because it's kind of a more, it's, I was going to say like darker, but it's just like more sober maybe, than the regular deck. So I'm feeling like this sort of dark moon energy. Maybe it was the full eclipse moon. I've been kind of fascinated with the moon lately. Anyway, what is hidden from you? This is our first card. Morality. Interesting. So this has to do with the things that we do to show piety, but they are just a shell. They're not really beneficial. They serve as a cage or a trap for us. So this is the, I want to say it's the Knight of Swords, the sister card, but I can't really remember. We'll get out some info about that. But that is what you're not seeing. This is what you're struggling with. That's kind of hidden from you. So this deck here is going to be like how it's manifesting in your life. What is this doing to you, Pisces? Oh man, okay, so I was gonna say a real mind fuck, but I probably shouldn't say the F word, sorry. But like, is that not exactly what that looks like? Just so much clutter, angst, false towers built that go nowhere. Just a lot of clutter for no reason, seems like, Pisces, and it's all built on like a pretty shaky foundation of wood paneling down here. So I'm not thinking that this is the best place for you to be struggling with the idea of morality. It looks like something that other people have put on you that you don't really believe, and that you're really struggling with being released from that burden. Let's get what is the advice for you to overcome this struggle here. We've got postponement. Interesting. So maybe you've known that this thing needs to be reworked. You've known that there is another way. You see these colors out here through this window, but you haven't quite made the transition over to the colorful side. You're still trapped in the black and white here with this postponement card. So far we've had 4 swords here. Actually, I want to say this is the King of Swords. King of Swords, Page of Swords is the mind energy. And then we have the Four of Swords, which is postponement. In the traditional deck, it's a lot more about rest, but you can see how it can evolve into putting off something that makes you feel discomfort that might actually better your life. If you're too involved in like this tomb rest, like almost shut down energy, it's hard to leave that in order to go into the uncomfortable world to make your life more colorful again. So this might be what you're struggling with. You're kind of putting that off there. And then the last stack here is, what is the possible outcome if you take this advice, if you jump into the colorful world, make yourself uncomfortable, and really break yourself of this mind clutter, which is keeping you in like a cage because you're convinced that it is a way you should be thinking or behaving, but it's actually not true. It's an illusion, and it's a cage that you've put yourself in. So if you can start to embrace what you do see here as beneficial for you and freeing your mind outside of this box, you can come to this final outcome, which we will see what it is here. Politics. I wonder what that is about. Another swords. This is the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is actually about getting away with something that you need, or taking an advantage to better your situation, but kind of in a sneaky way, like you're not telling people. So what if, and I'm just spitballing here because this is a little confusing for me, but I'm thinking that this is you playing a little bit of a game, sacrificing a little bit of authenticity for wearing a mask when you need to, in order to break yourself out of this cage that you're in. So here's what I mean. A lot of times there are a lot of social pressures around us to stay where we are. People don't like it when we change. People don't like it when we change our minds, or our fundamental beliefs end up shifting, or we start embracing the color of our lives because it reminds them that they're not doing that with their own lives, that they don't have a lot of color in their lives. So this to me is a self-preservation technique that it's, personally, I believe that sometimes those are okay to engage in. They're necessary in order to protect ourselves and to achieve our goals. Not everyone deserves our authentic self all the time. It's up to you. You can choose to engage your energy or not, and that's the choice that we make when we are around people that don't enhance our energy or our lives. But sometimes we don't have a choice. Sometimes we do have to engage with these people. And in such cases, it can be better to put a mask on and to protect ourselves, to save ourselves from exposure to those who might harm us, if that makes sense. So I'm not seeing this necessarily as you doing anything wrong, but just something maybe deceptive for self-protection. And that could maybe be the final outcome of all of this work that you do to try and get out of this cage. Because like I said, not everybody's going to understand your personal growth. All right, so let's get one clarifier for each of these here. What is this morality card for Pisces? I got 2. Wow, the 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Swords. Like, could you get more opposite energies? Hold on. What is this? I feel like Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas. Like this literally this looks like Nightmare Before Christmas. This is so strange. Which one came out first? Did it come out like this? This is morality. This is good, bad, right? Black, white. Something that is, this is morality, right? This is good, bad. This is something that's like, you've painted things either 100% good for you or 100% bad for you. Things that you have to stay away from, things that you have to embrace. When things get this opposite or black and white in your life, it becomes really difficult to live in the gray areas, which is where most of life happens. Things are not usually cut and dry. There are no clean lines. It's very fractured and chaotic. Even though chaos, I think, ends up coagulating into fractals. I saw this article in, I think it was Nautilus magazine. Anyway, the point is here, I think this is a trap. There's nothing that's all bad or all good. There's nothing that brings all angst and suffering, and there's nothing that brings all joy and goodness. This is a false belief when we invest in morality. The Tao says, throw away holiness and wisdom, and people will be 100 times happier. Throw away morality and justice, and people will do the right thing. This is counterintuitive, but I think what it's saying is like the more you try and control something, the more you try and make something not happen, the more likely it is to happen. Like the more you try and control something, the more backlash is going to come to it and do the thing that you're trying to stop. So even though this black and white thinking comes from a good place, the idea of morality, it's like you want everyone to do the good and right thing, but you can't make people do that. You can't put them in a prison of non-choice and just say you have to do these things because they are the right things, and you can't do these things because they are the wrong things. I understand that we have to have laws in order to protect our social common good, but those can be very basic things, and I think we take it so much further, especially if we are religious. We can become really obsessed with what is moral, way more than what is real and what is true. That's just, my opinion as a reader and as a lover of this expanded exploration of spirituality and what is the nature of the universe. These are my thoughts. You might have a very different take on it, but for those of you that this is resonating with, stay with me, we'll keep going. So let's get some clarifiers out here for this mind energy. What is the... Okay, that hopped out so fast, and now I see why. It's the devil energy, which is codependency, being trapped, being stuck in your mind. And I feel like this is exactly what the Tao passage was talking about. Like, if you focus so hard and you trap yourself in your mind so focused on not doing anything bad, then that becomes an addiction in itself, this restriction and this behavior that you can and can't do things, the shoulds and the shouldn'ts and all of those things that we grow up hearing really become a hindrance to us. They chain us to this codependency energy, to this negative struggle energy, depression. This is major depression energy here with the devil card. So if you've been experiencing depression in your mind, first of all, it's always helpful to get medical care, to get a professional to help with any sort of illness, including mental illness. So if you're struggling, please reach out to a doctor or somebody that can help who is a professional. I am not a professional. I have struggled with depression in my life, so I do know just sort of first-hand anecdotal knowledge about this stuff. But anyway, I'm seeing that because that you've been raised or stuck in this rigid thinking that things are either bad or good, and you either do the right thing or the wrong thing, or maybe you even look back at your past and you think, oh my gosh, like that was such a bad idea, or like I really regret that, that was such a mistake. That's not really how life works, right? Mistakes teach us things. And so that kind of in itself makes it not a mistake and makes it a teaching moment. And I don't really think we can make or have those learning moments without making mistakes. So again, like, is it good or is it bad? It's just not as black and white as that. You know, there's two sides to every coin. Okay, follow me here. Let's go into what is the advice. So, postponement, Four of Swords, looking into the world that you want and not putting it off any longer, being able to embrace what you want and make strides in order to get it. And to know that you deserve it, right? To keep yourself not trapped anymore. You got to let go of this energy that's keeping you sucked down, and you have to make the effort to move through this window here into the colorful world beyond. It's already rubbing off on you. Look, you can see it's already on your shirt. There's no going back. You've seen the light. You know where you need to go. It is just a matter of becoming uncomfortable enough to push yourself through this window and to experience things. You know, it's like it's difficult to experience things, bad or good, if you've been numb for so long. If you're not feeling your own feelings, it's even like joy can be scary. Even happiness can be, anxiety ridden for those of us who aren't used to feeling a lot of feelings or too many feelings. Maybe we've numbed ourselves because we're like so overly stimulated with feelings when we embrace them. So it's not easy. It's definitely uncomfortable, but I will tell you this from my personal experience, it's so much more fulfilling, joyful, vibrant, like you're actually living and not just like living in a video game. Does that make sense? Life is so full of sensory information, and if we dive into that sensory information, it's like that is what really keeps us connected and excited about life are our senses, right? So touch the grass, smell the roses, bake the pies, all the things that make life a colorful and wonderful place to experience. So if you take this advice, I feel like you're going to be protected here in the face of naysayers. You're going to have learned the tools and skills to protect yourself while still being vulnerable here. But let's get out some clarifiers for postponement. What's one card for this postponement energy and this advice for Pisces? Some advice for Pisces. Ooh, the Five of Wands. So this is scattered energy. It seems like the advice is to get these wands in order. It's funny, our last reading, we had the Eight of Wands as the final like piece of advice or encouragement. It is a card of all of the wands being in perfect order and flowing in this like streamline, like really fast cutting energy. This is the opposite of that. They're all like, all these wands are in different angles. The energy's going to all different directions. There's not like a specific goal or path for these ideas. And maybe that's why you've postponed this action, is because you have been so scattered. You haven't really known which direction to point your efforts in. And I think that, for practical advice, things like journaling, things like, talking to friends who've known you for a really long time, reading books about maybe what your passions might be or your personal disposition. There's so many books out there on the different types of people, personalities, ways of working, different, just types of humans out there, and different things work for different people. So I encourage you to like look through a wide array of things to get information or advice about this. But when you finally come to what it is you want and where it is you're going, it's the most beneficial thing to align all of the things in your life towards that goal. So, not that everything has to directly serve it, but it has to serve you so that you can serve the goal, if that makes sense. So, if you are wanting to, say, publish a book for yourself, you have to align your 9 to 5 job. You have to align your family responsibilities. You have to align your social life. You have to align your finances. You have to align your daily routine to allow for that to happen. And when you get all those things going in the same direction, obviously, like, your family life isn't directly like contributing to the words on the page, although you might be writing about your family, but point being, like, it doesn't all have to be about the book, but it all has to be in alignment with writing the book. Does that make sense? So that's just one example. There's a zillion examples. I'm sure you guys can think of something in your life that makes sense for that energy, but it's really great advice. I love this card for where we're at and where we should be going, or there's another should, where we could be going to get this outcome. All right, so clarify this Seven of Swords for me, this politics card for Pisces. Why is this the final outcome? The Seven of Wands. Oh, I love this. This makes sense to me now. This is about knowing your own light even when others don't see it. It's like all these opinions here falling away and becoming insignificant because your own opinion, your own fire is burning so brightly that you know exactly which direction to go. So it's almost like, Five of Wands to Seven of Wands, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've like gotten all these things kind of in alignment here. And what's come out is your surety about the thing that you really want to do. It seems like you do finally, this is actually the card right before the Eight of Wands, which we were just talking about. It's like right before everything comes into alignment, you finally see where you're headed, where you're supposed to point all of those wands. So I think that this politics card might even be you isolating yourself enough to know that your own voice is what you should be paying attention to. Sometimes we give way too much credence to the opinions of others because we want to play this politics game. And like I said, it's safer for us, right? A lot of times. But when we take the time to put others' opinions of us aside and to really focus on our own vision, our own internal light, that is when we succeed. And I think that is where you will go, Pisces, because of that. Just the sequence of that wand energy is too perfect. So this whole spread reminds me of the cards that we pulled last time the Oshos were out here on the table. If you want to go back and look at that video, I'll put it in the description below, but it very much talked about getting rid of the facade that other people expect us to have, getting rid of the expectations that we've been taught to put on ourselves, that we've learned from others, all the definitions, all the burdens. In fact, the burden was one of the cards that came out that time. And this is you coming out of that, making a decision to shed all of that stuff that you've learned over the years that wasn't your real self, and let your real self shine here, Pisces. So what a wonderful card to end on here. I'm so happy that we're on a path to shining our light more brightly. We are shedding this black and white thinking that's kept us so stuck and so disorganized, and we're diving into the colorful world that might be a little bit more sensory stimulating, but is so much more satisfying in the end, because what happens is we become our true selves and we really discover what makes us us, what lights our fire, what passions that we have, and how we can contribute to, or yeah, contribute, how we can put that out into the world to contribute to others. So thank you for being here with me today, Pisces. If you resonated with this reading, please press the like button. Share with me a little bit about your journey out of this black and white thinking into knowing your own personal truth. I'd love to hear it. It's a very exciting journey to go on, Pisces, and definitely go back and watch that other reading. It's like such a good reading and in tandem with this one. So also think about becoming a subscriber. We have so much fun here, some really good intense readings, really deep readings lately. So if you're into all that deep stuff, please come back and hang out with us here at the Bailey Bee Bouquet. I really appreciate y'all. And thank you for sharing this with your friends and other people as well who you feel like might need a little insight into their world. So I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, Pisces. Don't forget to comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. I'm going to draw that in April from all the comments that are coming in. A very happy birthday shout out to Kim. Thank you for commenting. I know it was like 3 weeks ago, but hopefully you're watching this video today. Very, very happy birthday and happy end to Pisces season to all of y'all. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me. And I hope you live long and prosper, Pisces.